Splash, oh, camera guy again.
Ainsley has osteogenesis imperfecta, type 3, so it's the most severe survivable version of osteogenesis imperfecta. She's kind of made her own rules when it comes to her doctors. Even when we go to the specialist, they make exceptions for the osteogenesis imperfecta rules, which is its own rare condition. She has brittle bones is the simple term for the condition. So she was born with so many fractures they wouldn't count them on the radiology report when she was born. And then she refractured at least once every bone in the first month that we were home. We don't know how many she's had. We estimate it's been over 100 probably in the first year. 75 to 100 in the first year. She doesn't necessarily tell us most of the time she fractures unless it's a really big fracture like a femur, because nobody thinks that just rolling your child or just trying to nurse your child, you're gonna break her arm or you're gonna break her leg or her spine or whatever. So we didn't know just how bad it was.
I actually made a statement the morning of going to the doctor, one of these visits, and I looked at Ashley and I was like, she's stronger than these guys think they are. She's not near as brittle as she is. And we literally went to a full bone scan that day, and they came in and they're like, she's had like 30 new fractures since the last visit. And I'm like,
everything has been rebroken.
Yeah. So yeah.
Then your mind floods. Did we do that when we were home? Did they do that with the nurses in the NICU? We didn't know. It wasn't really beneficial to find out. So we just proceed with caution and a whole lot of prayer. And that's how we went. As soon as we put her in the water, she was a little timid at first, and then she realized she could move, and it didn't hurt. So every day we started talking to other I families, and they were talking about how big a deal it was for water and their kids. We're like, okay, so we need to do this more often. So it turns into literally we're making it a point every single day we're going to get her in that tub. Eventually, she doesn't grow quickly, but she does grow. So it was getting dangerous to turn her in the tub because it's so narrow. If you catch a leg, then you break a leg.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, we've got to get a hot tub. And Ainsley will do things in the water. We got the hot tub just a little bit after we started aquatic therapy. And as soon as we started to be able to work in a little deeper waters, because obviously the bathtub can only go so deep, she can't stand up, she can't sit up. So when we started aquatic therapy, I started to see a huge difference in what she could do outside the water.
Honestly, I could speak for myself. It's probably the easiest process of anything I've ever experienced. It took her probably 30 minutes, maybe at most, to fill out the application on the website, and then, like she said, like an hour or two later, she had an email from Robin, and then that turned into a phone call from Robin, and that turned into the next day, Lori and her daughter showing up and just kind of sitting and talking to us, and from there it was, yeah, we're good. And so it was a couple days, and we were approved, and just waiting on us to take measurements to figure out what we needed. And once we figured out what we needed, I sent them a text saying, hey, this is the hot tub we need. This is the special, because we had to change the hot tub to a salt water and a couple other things to make it better for her. As soon as I sent it to them, they're like, okay, we got it. And I mean, the amount of time it took to get it shipped in and everything, it was a pretty quick turnaround. So
the hardest part of the whole process was filling out the application, and honestly, that's not hard. From the moment we submitted the application, we were working with some human being. It was not this commercialized system. It was a human being that genuinely cared for you. And Molly Johnson has changed her life and our lives for the better in so many ways I can't even express, but they genuinely care. I mean, they come and they talk to Ainsley, and they love on Ainsley. They came and just sat down and talked to us. It wasn't like we have business to get done, let's get done, which they do, but they love on you too. And they want to do what's best for
And they
you.
still do. We still
Yeah.
get text messages. Hey, how's Ainsley doing? When we go into the hospital for surgeries, Lori will text us and say, hey, how's she doing? Can you send me some new pictures? Can you send me a video? She literally wants to be involved in our life, which is huge.
I mean, you can even see now where you all saw earlier her in the water. She's rolling around, she's sitting up, she's doing. This is what she does outside the water. Unless we're really working hard, and she does not enjoy it when we're working hard outside the water, this is her life. And she loves it, but the amount of progress that she's made intellectually and with her body to work outside of this struggle has been immense. It's been incredible.
No way, Dad.
They're moving. They have these big things.
What's a camel say? There it is. What's a giraffe do?
Oh.
What's a turtle do? That's not a turtle. What's a turtle do? Oop, oop, oop. What does a lion say? What's a lion say? Rawr. What does a owl say? What's an owl say? Hoo.
Ainsley, can you blow a kiss? Mwah! Can you blow a kiss?
Give me kisses.
Good job, baby.